Have you ever wondered about the majestic, seemingly eternal elves of Middle-earth, and why such ancient and powerful beings would choose to leave their beloved lands behind for good? The primary cause for the elves' departure from Middle-earth was the fading of their ancient power and the beginning of the Age of Men, coupled with an intrinsic yearning to return to their spiritual homeland, the Undying Lands. This deep change stemmed largely from the Rings of Power. 3 elven rings, known as Vilya, Narya, and Nenya, were crafted by the elf lord Celebrimbor to preserve and heal Middle-earth. These rings slowed the passage of time and staved off decay in elven strongholds like Rivendell and Lothlorien. However, their power was intrinsically linked to the One Ring, which Sauron had forged to dominate all others. While Sauron held his ring, the elves dared not use theirs freely. Once the One Ring was destroyed at the end of the Third Age, the power of the elven rings also waned, and their ability to preserve began to diminish. Middle-earth was shifting towards a mortal dominion, and the elves, though immortal in lifespan, felt a profound weariness and sorrow as their era drew to a close. Understanding this shift helps us appreciate the elves' deep connection to the very fabric of the world. They were not just living in Middle-earth, they were a part of its ancient spirit. As the world changed, becoming more mundane and less magical, the elves felt it keenly, like a physical ache. Their immortality became less of a blessing and more of a burden in a land that was no longer truly theirs. This forced many elves to make the journey across the sundering seas to Valinor, also known as the Undying Lands, which was their ancestral home and a place tainted by the woes of Middle-earth. Tolkien masterfully weaves in the concept of a straight road for elves and other specific individuals, a magical path that allows passage to the Undying Lands, even as the world itself curved. This special journey, sometimes called sailing into the West, was a unique privilege, not available to mortals, except for a very select few like Frodo Baggins and Bilbo Baggins. It emphasized the elves' distinct nature and their spiritual, but with the divine powers known as the Valar. Their departure was a graceful retreat, acknowledging their time was done, making way for the rise of mortal men. Ultimately, the elves sailing into the West was not an escape, but a spiritual pilgrimage and a poignant recognition of destiny. It solidified the transition into the Age of Men, ensuring that Middle-earth's future would be shaped by mortal hands and choices. Their departure, though melancholic, ensured their eternal peace and allowed new chapters to unfold.